Hey, welcome to the Sparkle Madness podcast.
Did I surprise you?
You did. Yet again. Thank you. But
ain't nobody outsmart this fox.
Today we will forgive you, Aaron, because... All right, we'll get to it. I'm Matt. That's Ben over there, and he's not looking. There's Aaron. Yeah. Hey, fancy new graphics too.
Oh my goodness! It's like it tells you what episode this is.
Yeah.
Good piece of wood too.
Oh my goodness.
So last week we did Mary Poppins Returns.
I hate it. Oh, I liked it.
10 out of 10. It was okay.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. You guys did not like it as much as I did.
That's okay.
But that didn't stop us from doing another musical, which Aaron. I'm just going to take a minute to acknowledge that Aaron has the golden shovel for digging out random movies that are just amazing every single time.
I always dig out the bad ones.
Now, I must inform you, this little well I'm digging from, it's very deep. I got material for weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks, I say.
It's like you're like batting 1,000 with these random picks when we're filling. And January's the perfect time to do it because there's nothing out right now.
Next week, Aaron will choose Benji the Hunted.
Yeah. I must say, though, I did not anticipate the connections that this movie has to Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah.
when I
There's
picked it.
several.
I called you out on it. I secretly messaged him, and I didn't have to look it up because I knew it. He had to do the research.
All right. So we're doing the Court Jester for
The Court Jester.
We're actually saying it out loud, not just on the
Woo!
thing. The Court Jester, 1955.
It came out in January 56, so we may as well say 55.
Okay.
So I would like you to go ahead and tell us what it's all about, Matt.
Me?
Yes.
It's about nobody outsmarts the fox. No, it's
Our audience who haven't watched it will get that.
yeah, exactly.
That's like my jokes.
Yeah, you get it?
I'm all out.
Got it.
Good.
All right. Reference inside joke. All right, synopsis. It's basically like if Robin Hood had like multiple personalities and one of those personalities. It's like Split Robin Hood. That's a music. No. One of the people in Robin Hood's gang,
Merry men.
And this is called the Black Fox. He's not allowed to fight. He came from a circus, and then he gets spiraled off onto this adventure.
Yeah, he kind of entertains the troops for the morale and stuff. And he holds.
He does like a USO, but
he has to hold the
merry men.
Yeah, he is. He's like, "Good morning, merry man."
Yeah,
and he holds a little baby. He holds a little baby that's the future king. So basically,
the whole point is there's this weird overthrow of the kingdom where all of the previous royalty were wiped out, except for this baby.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So there's this baby who's the true heir that the Black Fox crew is trying to get back in.
Who has a tattoo of the pink
pumpernickel?
The Purple Pimpernel.
Purple pimpernel. Yeah. Competent.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a Daffy Duck episode.
Wrong duck.
I was trying to connect those dots. So for whatever reason, they're traveling with Jean, who's his female companion, who are trying to...
Who's the captain? She's the captain.
They're trying to get the key. That's a secret passageway to...
the castle.
To get into... So everyone can get into the castle, right?
To lay siege on the castle.
Right. So most of the movie is them going on this musical journey to try and steal the key, and hijinks ensue, and it's extremely well written in terms of
the problem with their plot is that every time they are about to execute the plot, it gets one layer deeper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of starts off very simply that he's going to impersonate. Oh yeah, so he impersonates a court jester at one point. They run into the court jester,
but he has to take the baby and hide it somewhere, right?
I don't remember why they had the baby with them.
Yeah. Oh no, because
they were running it. They were hiding it
because the guards were coming to the forest.
Oh,
yes, they were evacuating the baby, and they were intercepted.
So they were going, intercepted.
And then that's when they had their genius plan because they run into a court jester and Giacomo, the incomparable Giacomo.
And before that, he was getting all lovey-dovey with his sergeant at arms there.
Right. Oh. He keeps calling her sir, and,
Captain.
Yeah,
and he's like, well, I'm not strong and tough like all the other. Men,
That's right.
But she liked his tenderness.
Tenderness and kindness can also make a man a very rare man.
Have you ever seen a scene where a man croons to a baby?
No. No.
And that happens in this movie.
We're talking about a man here, right?
That lullaby. Hey, Danny Kaye is awesome.
Does he
in
have to
this.
use the word
Really good.
poopy diapers?
That came from a real place.
So we can talk more a little bit more about it, but at one there's a witch also involved.
There's no less than 5 layers of political
Yeah.
intrigue at any given time.
It just gets deeper and deeper until like become a movie you didn't even expect.
But what the movie's strength is it balances all those threads so well that only if your IQ is less than room temperature will you not get it.
Yeah. Well, and it balances really good music with like really funny slapstick with just really smart kind of escalation. So like at one point, so he becomes the court jester and he's going to go so he can get into the king's like inner quarters, I guess, so that he can get the key. And then once he gets to the kingdom, one of the other, like the king's right-hand man thinks that he's
Giacomo
he's an
was
assassin.
contracted to be an assassin.
Which they never met.
Which is and so
Yeah.
obviously they don't know any of that, and Giacomo doesn't know that, and so there's all these really funny.
It's this funny thing, like
Nobody
he's
knows.
Genius.
Yeah.
Like all the things he's doing, and he's
It's
hypnotized
very
to be somebody else.
It's very Inspector Clouseau at points.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's also he gets hypnotized by the witch to make him stronger because the princess wants to marry him, and the princess is going to murder the witch because the witch promised her this, and all these different subplots that actually make sense and you can follow it pretty well.
By the way, tie into last week's movie, Angela Lansbury plays the princess.
Yes, who still looks like Angela Lansbury. I mean Paul McCartney, because when British people get old, they look like Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
I mean Angela Lansbury.
Hold on, let me see if I can get a side-by-side for
get a
you on that.
side-by-side.
Keep talking while I
All
work
right.
on that.
So Angela Lansbury. Yeah, well, Angela Lansbury plays the princess, and she, on no less than like 10 occasions, says that
If he dies,
you die to the witch, and that's when she's like, "Oh crap!" She has to go do something.
And it's so funny.
Yeah.
And she actually helps him feel like an assassin. Like, she poisoned 3 guys and like, he's genius. You know?
While he's just like strumming, his, like making fun of people with his court
He's
jester.
getting kicked and stuff.
I gotta say, in those scenes, those are my favorite parts of this movie. Is when he's hypnotized and being snapped in and snapped out.
The snapped in and out was, I think, my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Because he goes from like doing this like really good.
The transitions are great.
Really good acting on Danny Kaye's part to like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then hypnotized, snapped, and he's like,
Now I gotta go Flynn.
And the long shot. So this is why I like long shots and wide angles. Like especially this thing. He's in the foreground, like, you know, or the background going,
because he keeps getting snapped in and out of the spell.
But how bad would someone cut that up? It wouldn't be as effective, you know.
It's very effective as a one shot.
Yes, it is.
There's actually very little close-ups in this movie. I think there's only one super close-up.
But there's medium shots. The super close-ups when they're laying getting kissy.
No, I'm talking when he's getting hypnotized. Those are the ones where it's just the face.
I was gonna say the biggest close-ups are how many times they show that baby's ass with the purple.
I don't know if I'd call that a medium. But yeah, you're probably. I see where you're going with that.
A couple.
You need a wide angle for my ass.
He got himself.
Now you see.
Thank you. So, Aaron, do we have any clips? Do we have?
Yeah, Ben requested the Black Fox song from the earlier part of the movie. I'll just play.
Let's show some of that.
A short snippet of that.
We'll get shut down.
So you can hear it.
Yeah. It has. There's just good music all over this movie. Good wordplay too.
Wind up at the angle that herring do.
Yeah, that those who try to tango with my daring do end up like at the angle that herring do. That's good wordplay.
And I like how he looks around.
Yeah. The songs are really well written, which, by the way,
weren't they written by Danny Kaye's wife?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Or one. She would co-wrote
Nanny
them,
G.
but she.
That's a Cheers and Frasier reference for you.
But I'm glad we actually showed that, because that was one of my like kind of subtle, really nice, maybe not arcs, but again, I love these little character things. So he starts off the movie like desperately wanting to fight, right? He desperately wants to do that. Mm-hmm. And he showed up with the circus with all these little people who came with them, which in that scene is an amazing like he keeps duplicating himself.
There's 1 of me and 2 of
Yeah,
me and
and
3 of me and 4 of me.
That's why I made that.
No
split
more
joke,
of
yeah.
me.
I wanted to clip that, but I figured we couldn't play clips all day long.
But like all the people who came from the circus desperately want to fight, but they can't. I can't remember the reason.
Because the Black Fox won't let them because their resources are limited.
Right. Oh, they don't have enough weapons. They don't have enough all these other things. But then by the end of the movie, they're the ones that are able to actually fight and save the day, and because they were the only ones to slip through the.
My God, a plot thread.
Yeah, and then Danny Kaye's fighting, and so he becomes a knight at one point, accident because of that plan.
Night that is complete by noon tomorrow.
And they try to get him through the night trials really quick. You know?
It takes 4 or 5 years to become a knight, doesn't it? We'll see about that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wrestle this boar, and then
They knight him so that he can marry the princess, so that Sir Griswold can fight him and kill him.
Put it over there with the others.
It's kind of like building a sandcastle with a dump truck. That plot line.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I love that how fast they rushed him through it. They literally lift it. You got to scale this wall, and they just propel him over. It's like, all right, you passed. Let's go to the next one.
There are so many moments in this movie where I'm reduced to tears from
How
laughing.
long is this movie? Had the runtime of this?
1 hour, 40 minutes.
Wow, and they stuff it all in there, and it's still pretty.
And I would have watched even more because it flows so well.
And I love the fox's costume.
His getup.
And
Yeah.
even that part when they just showed him like pretending to be the old beggar or the old.
That was
wine
really
guy. It's
good
like-
too.
I had no idea that was him.
What?
I didn't until he started to talk normally again.
Oh yeah.
But
okay.
they showed him put his.
They showed him putting it on before that.
Oh, I might have looked
You were
away.
busy writing notes.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I was writing.
It sucks.
What's his
my.
motivation?
Clearly a soundstage. Not a real castle.
That's one point I wanted to make about this movie is it's a kind of the word I want to use is pure. The comedy and delivery and acting is also honest that it doesn't need to be. It presents itself so honestly that almost anything they could do, no matter how mundane, is funny.
Well, that's what I think the essence of humor, Aaron. Not just the kernel of truth to humors and jokes, but also the honesty of which you play it.
And Danny Kaye excels at
Oh,
honesty.
yeah.
And everybody else too.
So good.
Everybody else
is good too. But
Well, that's why the Marx Brothers are so funny. Is like because all the other people there, like who play it for real. What's her name plays it for real? You mean
Yeah.
like the bad guy gets frustrated, you know? And you have great actors in this comedy that are playing it sincere, you know?
that's a trivia bit we talked about before the podcast started. Basil Rathbone was in the original Robin Hood in 1938, and this movie has several references to that. So it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, so
I mean, this movie is essentially a spoof of like your Errol Flynn swashbucklers and all that.
Only if you add in just
30 years
a
later, right?
shocking amount of like really good wordplay and alliteration.
yeah.
Speaking of wordplay,
love
I have
that.
another clip.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Shall I play it?
Yes.
Okay.
Or the pestle with the vessel.
The classic scene.
What about the palace from the chalice?
Not the palace from the chalice from the palace.
Where's the pellet with the poison?
In the vessel with the pestle.
Don't you see? The pellet with the poison's in the vessel with the pestle.
The chalice from the palace has the brew, that is true.
So easy, I can say it.
Well, then you find him. The pellet with the poison's in the vessel with the pestle. The palace from the chalice is the brew that is blue. No.
Oh, I cut
this
it off.
was the magnet.
The
Yeah.
way he gets magnetized. I take it back. That's my favorite part of the movie. How did they do the magnetism so well? If those are strings, it's so well done.
Well, and the helmet too, right? And it
When
like
it-
shot at him.
when Sir Griswold's helmet keeps
Yeah.
flying onto his chest, it's so well done. Everything about this
when
movie.
he's like walking,
Sir Griswold
he's
could've-
like leaning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny. The best part about that scene is like when they're both messing it up. And they're both walking.
Oh, yeah.
they're both.
And then
the cut between them. is
poison's in the dragon with the pestle.
And they got the wrong ones. They both mixed it
Yeah.
up. You know.
And then it didn't
like-
matter at all.
But like-
No toast. Whatever. Go fight.
Because-
like none of it mattered.
yeah. That's the best part.
Stop this mockery!
But the best part is like someone else would make that and just have Danny Kaye be the dummy, but they're both pretty.
You
dummies.
add on.
Yeah,
to it,
they add of him like the cut between him walking like the palace, and then him.
Well, then also,
and they're not even paying attention to each other. They're just making sure they don't drink the poison.
But even right before that, so Danny Kaye goes through this. He's trying to remember
guy's
so hard,
listening.
trying to have so hard, and then they come up to him and it's like, no, that's all wrong. The pestil's in the other thing. Pestil's in the other vessel with the and
Flagging with the dragon.
They changed it on him in midway after he finally got it.
Yeah,
And then they explain it to him again like this. Thank you very much.
They broke it. They broke the pestle. They broke the flowers of the chalice. Now it's in the. But you know what's funny is all I had to do is remember one of them. Don't drink that
Fun
one.
fact, that's a reference to another late 30s movie featuring Bob Hope, I believe.
Bob Hope.
Hey, Bob Hope coming back.
I think it was Bob. It was a movie with a similar situation involving a duel, and the one gun has a blank and one gun has a bullet.
You know, Bob Hope is in some good movies. We
It was
should
Bob
review those.
Hope, right? I'm gonna look that up.
And like this shot here of them flying down, like that's so funny. Like how heroic he makes him. Ah, you know, like
Oh yeah,
he's going
when
everywhere.
he's in his new persona.
Yeah, he's like hypnotized by the witch.
So good.
Part of it was
The
there's
movie.
a lot.
Sorry to interrupt. The movie was Never Say Die, 1939, starring Bob Hope.
Wow.
Bob Hope would.
There's a lot of those kind of like accidentally stumble into the next part of the story that then plays through. So how did Jean get to stay around in the movie at all? So because she shows up just like with Danny Kaye when they first show up in the court jester thing, and she's just sneaking around. But how's she going to hang around? And it's because they're like, the court jester will make fine wench selections for the king, and he goes off.
That was lucky.
And then the next time he sees him, he now has no memory of her because
He's under the hypnotism
But
spell
he
at that
accidentally
point.
runs into her, and he's like, "Oh, you've picked a perfect wench for me," and then she gets to hang around some more.
She gives him the key, and then Gwendolyn wants the key
Yeah.
when he has it on him. It's so complicated.
So good.
It's funny. And then with her part, Jean character, to get away from the king, she actually does a little funny comedic delivery of like how her family has illnesses, you know.
Oh yeah, to prevent him from kissing.
And even like that little bit of him, the Scourge. Like, what was your father's name? Scourge, you know, or something like that. Like, yeah, and in like every reference later on, he tries to touch her, and he's like, oh yeah, no, you know, because he wants to be all over. It was just funny. And she's like, "Come on, touch me, please." But it's okay, you know. Like she is so funny.
And what's the other reference there? Glynis Johns, who plays the captain, was in what?
So this is the other reference.
She was the other. Okay.
She is Mrs. Banks in the original Mary Poppins. Oh. The women's suffrage movement.
Yeah.
That's something else.
There's
As
as soon as I heard her voice, oh yeah, she's blonde. In
See, this
Mary
was the
Poppins.
most coincidentally
that's it. Yeah,
awesome
that's
pick
why.
by me. Can we give me some applause,
That's
please?
why I started the golden shovel.
So anyways,
They unearth these things for everyone.
This little tidbit about her: when she was cast as to be in Mary Poppins, she was so excited, and she didn't realize she was not cast as Mary Poppins because we know Julie Andrews was, but she came to the set like so excited and thinking that she was cast as Mary Poppins. You know what I mean? By Walt Disney and everybody. And they had to tell her, like, no, you're Mrs. Banks. Yeah. It's a very good role, but she still played that role with sincerity.
I'm sure at that point she was like, I'm going to put
She's
a
a
pellet
good-
of poison in their vessels.
Yeah. But she was really good in this part. This one too.
Spoonful of pellets.
She's got an interesting voice. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
really-
Wikipedia describes it as husky.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Huskett.
That's so not an appealing word
No,
to describe someone's
come back
voice.
to me.
Husky voice.
Come back to me.
I guess it.
Not one of me, but none of me.
Well done. Well done.
So, what was your guys' favorite song or favorite? Let's go with song.
Well, I like the
I
opening.
just found mine.
I like the opening where he's talking to the audience. You know, like
during the credits.
That's a funny song.
Yeah.
But I actually like Nobody Outfox the Fox. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
one.
that one's really good. That
just
one has
so-
the best choreography
Movement.
and
Oh,
stuff
the
going on with
At
it.
the
choreography.
beginning, I love.
I love all the songs. This is hard.
So mine, I think, actually is, and to be honest, I don't really remember the. I just remember the way he delivered all the lines. I don't remember them specifically, but when he has to prove he's a court jester in front of everyone, and he just comes up with that really long. This is when she's trying to take the basket. When he's I think it's called the
It's like
incomparable jester or whatever. Yeah, it was kind of like a rap at parts. Like
kind of puts that Mary Poppins Returns to shame, doesn't it?
I think the music.
The book one. Yeah,
I think the music in this is far superior than Mary Poppins Returns. Like I remember all the songs.
If nothing else, it's 10,000% more memorable.
It is, and I haven't seen this movie forever, and I forgot the songs until I listened to it. It's just fun. It's just it's better songs.
And
I don't. Okay.
That's to say nothing of their quality. It's fun factor.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
But if I had to pick, you can't extract Danny Kaye from the music part but I would say my more memorable part is just Danny Kaye doing everything else too, like just his general manner, just overall for the whole movie. I wouldn't pick out the songs necessarily.
Yeah,
like he's just an amazing performer.
Yes,
I got to say about his performance. I don't like to use the phrase tour de force often, but I'm going to here. And I suspect, I hadn't seen this movie in however many years since the other day, and upon reflecting on this movie, I'm not certain, but I may have subconsciously assimilated Danny Kaye's mannerisms here and there throughout the years.
Just as Aaron is.
Yeah, I've incorporated them
Semi-Danny
into
Kaye.
My own Borg hive mind.
What are some of the what is a example?
I don't know, just the way he kind of jerks around. It just always gets me.
The way he dances is so
funny. It's so. There's a melody to his movements. If you get my meaning.
He's a charmer. What's another Danny Kaye movie?
The Inspector General.
Ooh,
that's another one I like.
That's another one. He's in White Christmas, but he's not as a prolific role, but he's still good in his role. But I think that Bing Crosby was holding him back a little bit, even though it's a good movie.
Holding back.
And Rosemary Clooney ruined it for everybody in that movie.
Yeah. Those Clooney's.
Yeah, the voice.
What did they do?
Michael.
Filmography. Let's see. Around the time of this movie, he was in White Christmas, Knock on Wood, Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, that's a good one.
What?
He plays Hans Christian Andersen. He talks about his fairy tales.
There's also A Song is Born, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I heard about that.
That was it. That was the one I was thinking of. That's the one his wife also did the music for.
She's good.
I forgot about.
Were they married now or are they married later?
You mean then?
Then.
Yeah.
I don't know when they got married. I assume after. This is 55, so.
You never got that Angela Lansbury. Palmer.
He married her in 1940, which was around the time of the Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
That was 7 years prior, and they never divorced. So,
True Hollywood romance.
Hey, how about that carousel of the people? Kicking people.
I'm sorry, Ben, I couldn't get that
stairs.
clip.
That was just the best.
That was
onto a catapult
That's Three Stooges to me.
That's circus people at their finest.
Yeah, it just looks. It was like they're like.
You get the.
I thought of Matt. Like Matt was probably like, "What?"
I did say that.
What?
I wrote really weird.
Matt when Matt
it was
watched,
so elaborate. There were like 100 of them in a row. That's the least efficient way.
But it's awesome. But this is the best part of watching a movie with Matt, and I say this lightly, is when something happens, like in a movie, all of a sudden Matt goes, "What? What?" What? It's like Matt, it's
very instinctual.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh my, what? No way!" What? Oh, it's like. Matt's a movie.
Unbelievable. I don't believe it.
Yeah. Matt's just a movie.
I'm very easily charmed.
No, I'm just engrossed in it, that's all.
That's
All right.
What?
that is what this movie excels at. I would say is engrossing the viewer
Engrossed.
with
Yeah.
no tricks.
Other than the like speed up reverse marching.
Well, by tricks I don't mean special effects.
I forgot.
I know,
Let's
sorry.
talk about that scene. That scene, I rewatched it. That was hilarious because that's pure visual. It's pure like timing because we see the routine how slow it is at first, and they speed up. but the visual, it was so funny. It was so funny. Even like the bad reverse, it was funny. But just like the
Yeah,
And the sound of their metal shoes clanking is overbearing in that scene.
was Danny Kaye in that?
Yeah.
Sequence? He was, right?
Yeah.
they're lifting up, putting
Yeah,
them
so
there.
at one, and he had those like
The trousers are going down.
yeah,
MC
really,
Hammer.
yeah, MC Hammer, and also the way he was walking was
Yeah.
kind of like wide.
Well, his pants were falling down. He had to keep them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Not one of me, but two of me.
Nobody outsmarts the fox. All right, let's
Okay,
wrap this
for
up.
free.
What do you guys want to rate this?
I would love to rate
Yes.
it.
All right.
Perhaps nobody wants to go first. I'll go first.
Okay, you go
Okay.
first.
I messaged both of you earlier today and said I must not rate this movie a 10.
And he goes, it's 11.
I will not rate it a 10, but it is according to my two scales, how much I like it or fun factor versus like film quality. Average together, I have to give it a 9. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh,
Is it my
I
turn?
have very little criticism. In fact, I struggle with that.
I'll give it an 8 or a 7. 8 or 7. Say 8.
I'm kind of with you. Same zone. I would
Yeah.
say just to be different, I'll say 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Which
a fair
doesn't mean
review.
I don't
Just to be
like-
negative,
like-
because
yeah,
Matt's
yeah,
a negative
just be-
man. too.
I am not.
What? Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that's it's like he's eating something. What?
I am not upset at your evaluation.
This is Matt. You know, he's watching. He's one of those guys. What?
Did that just happen?
I've been kicked out of so many theaters doing that. Just spit taking.
Yeah, he brings a mop wherever he goes.
Right, guys?
All right. So
In summation, as an addendum to my review, I think this movie is essential viewing for anyone who enjoys comedy, wordplay, and even some cinematography here and there. It was very, very simple but good cinematography.
It was, and even the outside shots. Where'd they shoot some of these like cliffs?
I don't know.
or the castle too.
It's probably
was pretty
Hollywood.
Good.
It's probably
Yeah,
Los
it's probably a
Angeles.
big set.
Everything that's not like big, like outside vistas is probably just a soundstage.
Oh
with a
no, that's
painting.
clearly a soundstage. You can tell soundstage lighting.
But they did it so well. Did you know this movie was the most expensive comedy ever made at the time?
Oh,
Oh wow.
$4 million. That translates to a rather modest 30-something million these days.
well,
but
you know what's nice about it? It's epic.
in its scale, yes.
It's epic. It's VistaVision. It's Technicolor. It's these wide. Like that's why I think musicals have to be even comedies and musicals have to be shot with a wider angle for the most part and
Get all
longer
that crap
takes.
in there.
Yeah, I think there's something about that. People have gone away from it.
I mean, yeah. To me, it's less about how it was demonstrated. It's all to me the entire. Other than the starting point, other than the starting.
I love that
the song you love at the start. Black Fox part. To me, the thing I'll most remember is just how well written and the story was, and all the little pacing moments
So snappy.
of things kind of tying back together and interweaving, and people not knowing, but it all working for the service of the next thing. And then Danny Kaye, which I've only seen White Christmas, and
The incomparable.
and this is just a tour de force. As
Hey.
So I loved it. All right.
I'm okay with Danny Kaye.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
So next week, I don't know if we're actually doing a podcast. I think we're going to start trying to do some videos. We'll see what happens.
yes,
I'm not
yes.
sure what was.
We had a meeting. We discussed things.
That's right. We're going to do a bunch of new stuff coming up. But in the future, look for an M. Night Shyamalan showdown, and
Ooh.
then we're going to see Glass, right?
Yes, looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, you're going to break the glass and just start attacking.
Perfect.
All right, tune in next time. You get it?
Got it.
Good.
Boom! I knew it.